In this video, I'm going to be showing you how to create a brochure in Photoshop using 3D assets from Envato Elements. Welcome back to the channel. My name is CJam. So here I am on Envato's website, right? And we're going to be grabbing a 3D asset, as I mentioned earlier, to design our brochure, right? Now, this video is sponsored by Envato Elements, and Envato Elements is my #1 go-to place for stock photos and graphic assets that I use for all of my graphic design work. And if you want to try Envato Elements for free for 7 days, or if you want to get 70% off a month's subscription from their website, be sure to check out those links that I have in this video's description. Now, with all that out of the way, we're going to go ahead and we're going to go to more right here, and then we're going to go to 3D, right? And what you'll see is you'll see that you have all of these cool 3D elements, right? And now what's cool is if you click on one of these, you get to see this button right here that says view 360 render. Now this is where it gets really cool. You can rotate the element to whichever angle you want, and then what you can do next is you can go ahead and choose your file version as a PNG or as a Photoshop file, and then you can download the angle, right? So if you wanted to design a flyer for a company that designs glasses frames, right, you can download multiple angles of these and download them and create your brochure or your flyer. And that's exactly what we're going to be doing today. So what I wanted to search for today is I wanted to search for a Toyota SUV. So I'm just going to go ahead up here in the search bar and type in Toyota, right? Now here's the element that I wanted to use right here. I believe this is a Venza, right? Yeah. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to select PNG. As I said, you can choose Photoshop file, PSD if you want, and then I'm going to click view 360 render, similar to what we just did with the pair of glasses. And then I'm going to choose an angle, this side profile here, and then I'm going to download this angle, right? And all I have to do is add it to my project and then add and download, right? That's all I need to do. Then I'm just going to go ahead and click save. Now that I've identified the element that I want, I'm just going to download a bunch of angles, and then I'm going to meet you guys inside of Photoshop. So here I am in Photoshop, and the first thing I'm going to be doing is creating a new file, right? I'm just going to click new file, and the template that I want to work with today, the brochure that I want to make, is a bifold brochure that opens like a book, right? So it has 4 sides, but I want the size to be in inches. So I'm just going to go ahead and change the pixels right here to inches. Then I'm going to set the width to 4 pixels and the height to 8 pixels, right? But here's what I want to do. I want, when I open the brochure, I get the full spread, which will be 4 and 4. That would be 8, right? So I want to design a template where I can see the entire spread. You can also design page by page, but for the purposes of this tutorial, let's change the width to 8, and then we're going to divide the brochure in sections using some guides. So let me change the width here to 8, and then let's go ahead and click create. Here we are, and then let's go to view and then guides, and let's create a new guide layout. This is where we're going to divide our brochure into sections, right? Now what you can do here, you can add the number of columns that you want. If you were designing a 3-fold brochure, you can change the amount of columns to 3, but we're designing a 2-fold brochure today, so let's change the number of columns to 2, right? And then rows are fine at 2. Let's go ahead and click OK. And what I'm going to be doing next is just add some more guides, and you add guides by just clicking on your ruler here and just dragging them down. I'm just holding shift while I'm dragging it, so it goes in equal values, so it moves in equal values, right? And what I'm going to do next is Control and S to save my project, and then let me go ahead and name it LSPV112 automotive brochure, because that's what we're going to be designing today, right? And then we're going to click save. And if you're not seeing your rulers here like I mentioned just now, all you can do is just go ahead and click Control on your keyboard and the letter R, or if you're on Mac, Command and R, and you'll see the ruler is popping up right here. And now I can go ahead and continue with my design. But here's what I want to do. See this bleeding room that I have here, the space of 1/2 inch that I have when I created the guide layout. I want to have the same amount of space here on the inside where the spine of the brochure will be, where it folds, right? Because I don't want any design elements to go within this space. So what I'm going to do is click my ruler on the vertical side, and the middle here is 4 inches. So ½ inch from that would be 3.5 inches. That plus ½ inch, that same 4 plus ½ inch would be 4.5 inches on the opposite fold, right? So now we can go ahead and start designing, but I want to do one more thing. I want to now divide this entire page here in half, and that would be my half point mark, which will be 2 inches, and then on the other side it will be 6 inches, because remember, each of the folds are 4 inches, so 4 divided by 2 is 2 inches, and vice versa, right? So here we are thus far. Now we can go ahead and hit Control and S to save. Then we can bring in our elements, the different views of the vehicle that we just downloaded, right? The Toyota Venza. So what I'm going to do is drag in all my angles and the Toyota logo here from my local Toyota dealership, Toyota Jamaica. Well, it's not my dealership, but you get the point. So what I'm going to do is just drag in all of the views that I want to use. So I have this top down, I have some side profiles. I'm just going to drag them all in, front and the rear. Let's just drag them in. We can grab some more if we want, right? And I also want the Toyota logo, Toyota Jamaica, right? Here we are, Control and S to save. And what I'm going to do, I'm just going to turn these all off, and then I'm going to rename the views, right? So this one, let's name it rear. Let's name this one profile. Oh, oops, let me turn it on. Let's name this one profile, side profile. Let's say this is the left. Let's call this one front. This other one top down or plan view. What should we do? Top down. Yeah, let's call it top down. And this last one here, profile. Right. Control and S to save. Then here's what I want to do. I want to remember, this is 1/2 of my brochure, right? Let me just draw out a rectangle by hitting U on my keyboard. Let me just draw out a rectangle here. That way you guys can physically see that this is one side of the brochure, right? So that's one. So let me just make it a little bit lighter, but not as white as the opposite side. I hope that helps. So now you can clearly see, right? You guys should be able to clearly see that this is two different sides of the brochure. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to turn this off when I'm finished. You guys need to remind me to turn this off. So let me go ahead and turn on the Toyota Jamaica logo and turn back on my guides. You turn off the guides by using Control and semicolon, Command and semicolon if you're on Mac. Let's make the Toyota Jamaica logo a bit smaller so it fits up here. Right. Let me turn on transform controls. That way I can know where the centers are. Right. All right, so there's the Toyota Jamaica logo, right? Then I'm gonna write some text. Let's write the name of the vehicle, which is Venza. And then Gotham is fine. Let me make this bigger. Yeah, that's fine, right? That's fine, right? And then let me write some more text. Control and J to duplicate that Venza text. And then let me write 2022. No, let's do 2025 because this is a super modern car. Let's make it 10 in size. And you see those two measurements there, that 0.133 inch on both sides? See that? It's telling me that the same amount of space is between my two elements, which is good, right? But first, let me click on the Venza, go over to my properties tab right here. If you don't have your properties tab, you can go to window and then properties. And if when you click on it, it's not right here like mine. If it's like this, you can just click, drag it to wherever you want it on Photoshop. And then that blue line there is telling me that it's going to be on top of the libraries tab, right? And that's what I want. That's how I had it before, right? So quick pro tip for you guys. So what I'm going to do is click on the color here of my text in my properties tab, and I'm just going to pick the gray from the Jamaica, right? And I'm probably going to leave the 2025 in the red as well. What do you guys think? This gray background may throw me off in my designing. I hope you guys you guys should be able to tell that this is one half, because this gray background is just throwing me off so much, right? Or maybe I can just draw, let me just draw a rectangle by hitting U, like a much thinner rectangle, right? And then let me make it black, and then let me just align it. That way we know where the center of our brochure is. And now I also need to remember to turn this off, right? Now what I'm going to be doing is clicking on one of my views of the cars, turning it on. Let's do the profile, right? And then let's just move it to the bottom here, right? Because I want when the brochure is opened, or when it's folded, because this is the front, I'm sorry, this is the front of our brochure right here, and this is the back. So I want when you're looking at it, when it's handed to you at this function that we're designing for, you'll see half of the car on the front. When you look at the back, you'll see the other half on the back, right? Now let me go ahead and turn on the front view right here. Then let me just bring it over in the middle like so, and let me just bring it up to the top about there at the halfway mark, and then Control and S to save. But here's what I'm going to do. I am going to group all of these elements here. So the vents of the front view, the text up top, let me just select all of them and then hit Control and G, and then let me name it front cover, right? So when I turn it off, the front cover is gone, right? Let me turn off transform controls, turn off my guides, and what I want to do is I just want to write a little text here that says, I just want to duplicate the 2025, Control and J, and then I just want that to say like let's say we're designing for an official reveal of or unveiling, right, of this vehicle here by Toyota Jamaica, right? Remember, this is not a real brochure, right? All right, so what I'm going to be doing is I'm just going to move this over right there, right about there. Do I want it gray as well, or should I keep it red? Let's keep it red, but let's just write some placeholder text by hitting T, turning on my guides, Control and semicolon, and then let me just draw this text box here, and that will get filled for me with placeholder text. Let me just size it down, as well as adjust the tracking back to 0. Let's make it Gotham, but not the same weight as the official unveil. Let's make it medium, right? That should be fine. And then let's change it to the gray of the Venza. All right, that should be fine, right? What do you guys think? Or should we make it black, or maybe a darker gray? What do you guys think? Control and semicolon to hide my guides. Yeah, I'm liking this darker gray. Yeah, I'm really liking this darker gray. Let me choose the color of the, let me see what color that is. Oh, 545454. Control and C to copy that code. Go to the Venza, click on the color, paste that same code there. So the Venza is the same color as the placeholder text. And if when you drew this text box in your Photoshop, right, and you didn't get the placeholder text like I did, you can go to type and then paste lorem ipsum, and it will give you that placeholder text to work with, right? So if you're designing a template or a proposal, some kind of graphic to show a potential client that, hey, this is what I can do, you don't have to necessarily populate your proposal design with actual words like I'm doing right now. You can just use like placeholder text. That's totally fine and acceptable, right? So let's go ahead and hit Control and S to save all that we've done so far. And then let me add some more placeholder text. Or what I can do is I can go to paragraph, turn off the hyphenation, and I can change the alignment of the text to like justified right or something like that, or justified centered, right? That's fine. And then let me see what the distance is. Is it the same distance as above? Oops, what am I doing? Is it the same distance as, yeah, that's fine. So the official and this placeholder text has the same distance between it as up here. So we're keeping our design uniform, right? That looks cool. What do you guys think? Control and S to save. Let me turn off this black line so it doesn't throw me off in my designing. Where is it? Okay, yeah, here it is. So when the brochure is folded, when you're handling the brochure, when you get to this event, you'll see this image here and then half of the car. But let me bring down this text here. Let me bring it down some more. Let me just bring it down a little bit more. About there is fine. That's fine. Control and S to save. So now we basically have our front cover. Oops. Or front cover, right? All right, so let's go ahead and work on the back cover here. Control and S to save. Let me collapse this group. For my back cover, what do I want to say? Like, thank you for joining us. What do I want to say? Thank you for being at the event with us. Or do I want to say view more, or what do I want to say? You can say anything you want, but I'm just thinking of something to make it like practical to put over here. Control and J to duplicate the text. That's what I just did. Then Control and semicolon to turn on my guides. Let me turn on my transform controls. That way I can see where the center point of all my elements are. Let's just say Toyota thanks you, right? Remember, this we can just use like placeholder. I'm just choosing to be extra here just so I show you guys what I'm doing, or show you guys a proper way to like execute this if you were to actually do it. So thanks you for joining us, That's good language, right? Cool. Can I make the Toyota Jamaica a little bit bigger here, seeing that it was so small here on the front? Where is it? So Toyota Jamaica thanks. Where is the thanks you? All right, so the Toyota Jamaica and the thank you, Control and G after I select both of them. Let's double click and rename it back cover, right? Control and S to save all of that. Let me turn off my transform controls. Let me break the line here. Add some space. Alright, cool. So what I want to do is I want to change the text color here from red to the gray of the Venza. So I'm picking, and what was the code again? 54. Yeah, that looks more like it. And then, do I want to put it in the same line? I think it looks cooler in the same line. What do you guys think? I hope it does. All right, so what I'm going to be doing is just moving this up to about there. I mean, we don't want to say much, right? Let's just add some placeholder text. Like if we had sponsors, I want to say thank you to our sponsors, you know, that kind of corporate language. All right, so here we are, right? What I'm going to do is I'm going to drag this down, make this a lot lengthier, right? So we have like a lot more text, just so we beef it up some more, like we actually have something that we want to say. Gosh, right? Turn off the transform controls, turn off the guides, Control and semicolon, and let's actually make this one long running text. You know, all the disclaimers and all that good corporate stuff that they're always saying. Let's duplicate that, and then let's just do it because we can, right? Let's move it up about there. All right, cool. Now we're looking good. So we have our front and our back cover. We don't have to do anything else to this for the purposes of this tutorial. But if I wanted, I can like put another picture of the car here, but it's fine. It's totally fine. So let me just go ahead and organize my groups here. So front cover, back cover, right? And then we have the profile image, the side profile. All right, so Control and S to save. Now we're looking good. What we can do next is we can go ahead and just design the inside just to have some placeholder content so we can show in a mockup. I'm going to be using a mockup that I also got from Envato Elements to show you what this brochure would actually look like, right? If you actually printed it, because that's the aim of practicing to design these things, because you're designing for it to be printed, right? Here's what I want to do next. I just got a cool idea. So on the front cover, right, I have this red text right here, official unveiling. Control and semicolon to turn on my guides. Let me just duplicate the official unveiling, Control and J. And then let me write, this is not a real brochure. And let's not make that, let's make that like really, really, really ultra super duper fine print. Like a, if you know, you know kind of thing, right? That's cool. And then let me just move the car up a little bit. They can't say we didn't tell them. We did tell them it's not a real brochure. They just didn't want to believe it because it looks so good, right? What do you guys think so far? How are we doing? Let me know in the comments below. Control and S to save. This is not a real brochure. Oh gosh, that is so funny. Alright, so let's go ahead and design the inside. Let's see what we can come up with. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna turn off these, right? We're gonna, do I want to keep this one on the inside? No, let's use the opposite view. Let's use this one right here. This is the profile left, right? See that? That's the right for the, well, this is the right that you're seeing right now, right? That's what we had for the outside of the brochure. Now let's use the left for the inside of the brochure, right? Now what I want to do is, can I actually make this bigger? I could make it bigger, but let's just keep it the same size for the purposes of this tutorial, right? Now, wait, this is not a real brochure. I want to put it on the back as well. I'm sorry. Let me just find it, Control and J to duplicate it. Then let me just move it over. It's right here. As you know, it's really, really small. Let me just move it over here. All right, so it's on both the front cover and the back cover, right? All right, turn off my transform controls. So now this is going to be my, wait, yeah, this is the one for the outside. So let's go ahead and start typing some text. But what I should have done is just copied the elements that I have here. All right, so these are the elements from the back cover. Let me just drag it down and copy it. That way I don't have to type everything again, you know, because we're trying to speed through this tutorial as efficiently as possible because we are awesome creatives. All right, so what I'm going to do is, let me just go ahead and just write some placeholder text. This can just be like exterior, like just, let's just write like awesome design or awesome engineering. Because that's what it's all about in making cars, right? Engineering. Did I spell that right? No, I didn't. Engineering. All right. Let me move this up. Let me, where is that red? What is the color code of that Toyota red? Let me see what I got here. Oh, no, that's not gonna work. Let me, the 2025, what's the color code? All right, let me copy that, Control and C, and then let me come back over here to the awesome engineering, and then let me copy that color code and paste it here. That way the awesome is in red and then the engineering is in the gray, right? Now I'm going to edit this text that I copied from the back cover, and then let's pretend like it's a list, right? So let's pretend like we're listing some elements here. You know, like we have some awesome elements about the engineering that we want to list so that whoever is reading this brochure knows what we want to highlight, right? So let's align all of this to the justified left. Let me add a bullet point, Alt and 0149 on Windows. I'm not sure if it's the same thing on Mac, but yeah, let me just add some bullet points just because we can, right? Let me try and upsize that. No, that's fine. So yeah, I just wanted to highlight some stuff about the engineering here. Let me just change the color. The Alt 0149 that I just mentioned, if you hold Alt and then hit 0149 on your number pad on Windows, that's the shortcut to get that bullet point, right? Now let me just change the color of the bullet point by pasting it. Oh, nope. What is that shortcut? EB. All right, EB. EB01AE, is that what it said? EB0A1E. All right, cool. So now we have some pretty cool bullet points that we can mention about our engineering, and let's just keep it right here. Let's say we want to add another view. Let me turn off the front cover here. So yeah, front cover turned off. Let's change this to inside. This is what, the left side, left. All right, cool. So we have some engineering stuff there. Let me turn off, or turn on, sorry, some alternate views. I have the rear here. Wait, let me actually use, let me undo that, Control and Z, turn it off. So let me add some quarter views, like some quarter side views. I'm not sure if that's the original terminology. Let me know in the comments below. I'm just gonna drag some of those in. So let me choose, is it this one and this one? Yeah, let me just drag them in and let me align them, selecting both of them, and just align the vertical and horizontal centers. And then let me use Control and T for my transform options and size them down. And then let me just move them over to like here, right? That's pretty cool, right? All right, let me turn off this profile left image because let's have the inside a little bit different, or be a little bit different, right? Let me size, should I size them down again? All right, so let me move this one over here. Let's have this touch the guideline here. Let's have this other one touch the guideline over the other side, right? Let me know what you guys think as we're designing together. All right, that's cool. Oops, that is cool. Turn off my guides, Control and semicolon. All right, I like that. I like that. Should I duplicate the bullet points? Control and J. Should I add them? Like, should I add some more? Should I add some more? What do you guys think? I mean, we're just doing it because we can, right? And then, so awesome engineering. That's fine. I mean, that looks fine to me. For the purposes of this tutorial, I'm just showing you guys what you can do and all the power that you have here, right? So this looks fine to me. Control and semicolon to turn off my guides. All right, so I have a long list here, you know, detailing some pretty cool stuff. If you wanted, you could go to like your shape tool by pressing U, you know, like draw a circle if you wanted to point to a particular area on the vehicle. Let me move it up to the top. Where is it? Where? Oh, let me move these in the inside left group. If you wanted to have like a circle where you're pointing, where you want this to point to it, right? And then you want to use like a line. Let's hit U for a shape tool and then do a line, right? Just do a line that points here. And that way you can say, the viewer, the reader will know that, hey, this point is talking about this right here, right? That's how you would do that. And then let me just, so you guys get the point, right? You can just like add that to say, hey, this circle is the information about this. This is the headlight information, etc., etc. You guys know what I'm talking about, right? Like you want to call out something that it's a call out, right? So there I'd have that. And what I could do is I can just like delete all of this and just like have this one call out here specifically talking about this, right? And then you can have some more information just like randomly. Let me turn on the guides, right? See that? Let me just do some information right here. Is this the same? Let me just check something here. Oh no, this should be 545454. All right, cool. Yeah, so you can have just like a bunch of info right here. And if you're gonna do this kind of design where you're calling out stuff, obviously you need more pages in your brochure, right? But for the purposes of this tutorial, we know what we want, right? So let me go ahead and see what we have here. Let me turn off the line, turn off the ellipse, because that's not the kind of design we're doing. I'm just showing that to you guys. Maybe I can squeeze another photo in here. What do you guys think? Let me squeeze this image right here. I can literally just like squeeze this right here. This is so cool. All right. Now I can just Control and S to save all that we just did. Turn off the guides, Control and semicolon. And how cool is that? All I have to do now is make sure that all of this is inside my group, my inside left group, right? See that? And all I am going to do is literally just duplicate the inside left group, Control and J, and I'm just going to name it inside right. And I'm literally just going to copy it and drag it over, because for the purposes of this tutorial, I'm just showing you the power that you have, right? Let me go back and make sure it's in the center right there. Is that right? I don't think that's right. I really don't. Let me just drag all of this over just a little bit. That red dot should be on the inside of the guide. That looks much better. All right, see that? Control and semicolon to turn off my guides, Control and S to save all that we've done so far. Now let's close all the groups and see what we have. So we have inside right, inside left, and then we have the back cover, front cover. Wait, what did I do with the car? Oh, the car is there. All right, so front cover, back cover, right? Now we can go ahead and save all of these. So what I'm going to be doing is keeping the back cover and the front cover on like this. And then I'm going to hit Control Alt and S, and let's name this front and back, and then let's save it as a JPEG, right? And then let's turn it all off, turn on the inside right and the inside left. And then, you know what's cool? You know what would have been cool? If I were to go into my inside right group, turn this off, or turn that one off, go to my inside left group, turn the opposite one off, and then what would have been cool is if I dragged it out like this, so that when you open the brochure, you have both sides like so, and so that would have been pretty cool. What do you guys think? That would have been really cool. Yeah, actually, let's keep it like that. Let's keep it like that. Inside right and inside left is on. Let me just go ahead and save it. But let me just make this bigger. Actually, let me make this bigger. That way, it's like all the way over to the other side, right? And you can actually have the text like on it like that. You can change the text to white if you want, right? That's also a cool design technique with these kind of brochures, you know, overlaying text or overlapping text, however you like it, however you want to design it. Remember, the creativity that you expressed in these kind of designs or express in your designs is totally up to you, right? All right, so don't be afraid to push the envelope. Control and S to save. Now, let me go ahead and hit Control Alt and S to save our insides, because it's both inside left and right. Let's save it as a JPEG and then click save. Now here's how our design would look if it were actually printed, thanks to these mockups that we got from Envato Elements. And if you want to learn how to put your own designs onto mockups, click or tap the screen to watch that video right now. Or if you're brand new to graphic designing and you want to learn how to use Photoshop, click or tap the screen to watch my latest Photoshop tutorial for beginners. Thank you so much for watching this video. Once again, my name is CJam, and I will see you guys in the next video.